name is Hilda Mensa Obi, and I'm presenting on risk, uncertainty, and disruptions management in supply chains. In today's global economy, supply chain has been facing constant turbulence, risk, uncertainty, and disruptions that halt operations and also spike costs. The research explains how to navigate through challenges and also to build resilience. Risk. It refers to the possibility that an unexpected event will occur that could negatively affect business operations, and it also emanates from internal and external sources that affect supply chain at any point from procurement to delivery. Following are the types of supply chain risk. Firstly, demand risk, which arises due to sudden changes in customer demand pattern, and it also focuses on changes in consumer behavior and also changes in trends and market shifts. Secondly, supply risk, which occur when suppliers fail to deliver required materials due to capacity constraints. Thirdly, operational risk, which refers to the failures within internal processes, systems, or people, which includes fire outbreaks or machine breakdowns in an organization. And lastly, we're talking about the environmental risk, which relates to external events such as flooding, droughts, earthquakes, and pandemics. Risk management strategies. Firstly, we're talking about the supplier diversification. So it refers to using multiple sourcing options to reduce dependence on a single supplier. So here, organizations have to use multiple sources to get their products delivered. Secondly, safety stock and inventory buffers, holding additional inventory to cushion against delays or sudden demand spikes. For supply chain uncertainty, supply chain uncertainty stems from incomplete information about future conditions affecting demand, lead times, supplier performance, and logistics capacity. So uncertainty differs from risks in that it cannot be measured with probability and is less predictable. Sources of supply chain uncertainty. Firstly, economic uncertainty. So macroeconomic shifts such as inflation or recession, and organizations do not have the ability to forecast what is going to happen in the economy. Secondly, technological uncertainty. Rapid innovation cycles that alter demand for products. Thirdly, demand uncertainty. Market volatility and changing consumer preferences, increasing forecasting errors. And lastly, have the supply uncertainty, which is the inconsistent supplier performance and delivery lead time variability. The following are the ways to manage uncertainty in supply chain. Firstly, agile supply chain, which is the flexibility to adjust production plans and allocation decisions quickly. So it explains how organizations are able to make changes to production plans and also make decisions quickly. Secondly, advanced forecasting models, which is using data-driven predictive analytics to reduce forecasting errors. And thirdly, multiple sourcing network, reducing dependency on one single supplier and having multiple suppliers to get products from manufacturers to suppliers. This slide, we're talking about the disruption management strategies. Firstly, business continuity planning, which is monitoring operations during emergencies. Secondly, backup suppliers and alternative logistics network, which is not relying on only one supplier but having multiple suppliers. Thirdly, resilient supply chain, which is operations being able to recover or bounce back after disruptions. Fourthly, technologies such as cloud visibility tools Technologies such as blockchain and AI enable tracking and early warning systems for disruption signals, and lastly, flexible contracts and relationships. So this is a real-world example of risk, uncertainty, and disruptions management in supply chain, which is the Suez Canal blockage, which happened in Egypt in 2011.
The world's most important shipping routes, and it's blocked. A giant container ship ran aground in the Suez Canal after losing power. And at around 200,000 tonnes and over 400 metres long, the container, where it's going to take some shifting. 50 ships a day normally pass through the canal, carrying 12% of the world's trade. So the pressure is really on to get her refloated. Here's Richard Galvin.
One of the world's biggest container ships blocking the Suez Canal, one of the world's most vital trade routes. The ship, operated by a Taiwanese company, Evergreen, heading north through the canal towards the Mediterranean when it lost all power and steering. So what are the reasons for this?
One of them is engine failure. You would lose control due to engine failure, you would lose control due to a steering failure, or you would lose control, which appears to be the case.
So this is a brief explanation of the Suez Canal blockage. So this happened in Egypt, March 2011, where a massive ship container called the Evergreen blocked the canal for 6 days, which trapped over 400 ships, and it also disrupted supply chain operations. A video of the Japan earthquake and tsunami 2011, which disrupted Toyota's supply networks.
On March 11, 2011, at precisely 2:46 p.m. local time, a monstrous 9.0 magnitude undersea earthquake shook Japan's northeast coast. The rumbling of the earth was felt hundreds of kilometers away and even as far as Tokyo. Within minutes, it unleashed its fury in the form of a towering tsunami that barreled toward the coastline. Coastal towns were utterly decimated. Buildings were swept away. Cars were tossed around like toys, and entire streets vanished beneath the churning waters. People were either washed out to sea or trapped amidst the wreckage. It was one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded in modern history. And yet, this was only the beginning of the nightmare. That same day, less than an hour after the quake, a second, smaller, but still substantial
The earthquake and tsunami that's happened in Japan, it disrupted Toyota's supplier network and also caused vehicle shortages in Japan. To conclude, organizations must adopt comprehensive risk management strategies and integrate flexibility, real-time visibility, and collaborative planning to handle uncertainty effectively. Furthermore, disruption management requires robust continuity planning and advanced technology adoption to detect early signs of interruptions and act swiftly. Thank you.